A big thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video.
Morning everybody, fantastic to see you all again. So I've come to a place called Wastwater, which is sort of on the west coast of the Lake District, and it's quite a difficult place to get to actually. I say difficult, it takes a little bit longer than the other locations, and I've not travelled here a huge amount of time. So I thought I'd come here in my camper van. It's totally isolated, which is fantastic, and probably hike some of the fells around here over the next couple of days and just see what I can find. So it's a little bit of exploring really. I'm not expecting anything. The weather doesn't look particularly brilliant, but it's just going to be great just to get out and just try and just connect a little bit with a new location that I've not been to before. So I'm super excited about it actually. When there's no pressure on it, just seems, I don't know, just a little bit better. Hopefully I'll be able to make a video, or you might not even see this and it might turn into nothing. But this morning's beautiful. We've got some mist hanging around, some medium cloud. So I'm just gonna stay by the road for a little bit and then I'm gonna hike up onto that fell over there in the distance.
Let go, rain. It's not your song to sing no more. Goodbye, blame. Weights can't lift you up, but you can find a way to drop them. Can you feel the wind? Say you do, it's how it all begins. Then comes reason, then purpose.
Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Well, whilst you're here, you can have a look at a tool I'm using, which is Google Earth Pro. I'm planning my walk that I'm going to do, hopefully to get some shots of Wastwater, and it's a really, really good tool. So it's a tool you can download to your laptop, but it allows you to see the light on the land. So I can see a 3D look of the terrain here, and I'm actually going to be walking up this hill here. I just want to see what it's going to look like. So what I can do is I can switch on this here and I can say, okay, what's it going to look like around about, I'm probably going to be up there around about 9 o'clock. And I can see now when I'm on that hill what the view's going to be like and how the light's going to hit the land. It's super useful. I use it all the time, and it just reduces chance really. It means that you can plan things, and planning's really important in landscape photography. So give it a try. Right, I think we need to get going because I'm going to climb up here. It's about a 500-600 metre climb. There's fog on the top of the hills at the moment, so hopefully that's going to improve. Let's go. So you can see Wastwater behind me now, and it's quite an amazing lake in the Lake District. It's got these really stunning screes that go straight into it, which is really great. And maybe tomorrow I'll walk across the top of that ridge. It depends if the cloud cover's high enough or not, because you can see it's quite low, but this is really nice. There's no wind either. I love walking when it's just really still. It's beautiful, and the sun might be coming out as well. Doesn't get better than this. So I'm just going to check the ridge over there. I've just got probably 2/3 of the way up, and there's a ridge over there. Now I just want to see what the view's like, so I'm just going to hike over to that ridge and see what it's like. So, as usual in the fells, there's another ridge, but oh, it's so spectacular up here. So I'm going to go a little bit higher, and hopefully I'll find something up there in this direction. That's that's the direction I'm looking in now. And I want to sort of shoot in that direction, but back in this direction, you can see that's the coast. So over there is island. It's really flat. It's a lot of weathering from the westerly winds. Okay, back up, carry on. I was trying to think of an excuse not to go a little bit higher for a while. Whilst I'm walking back, one of the questions I get asked a lot is, I have a pacemaker and people worry about me walking up hills, but it actually doesn't make any difference to me. The pacemaker's just there just in case my heart stops and it kicks in and gives it a little bit of a bump. So yeah, most of the time I don't need it. The biggest problem walking up hills is just how unfit I am. But it's you soon get fit when you've done a few. Right, let's carry on up. So I've made it to the top, and it's yeah, it's pretty spectacular. We've got some sun coming out here as well, which is just creating this really nice sheen on the water. And I've got into a position on this knoll here. I've tried a few different places. I went to the top, but I was in fog. So I've got to a position on this knoll. And what I want to do is just have this lake coming up on the right-hand side. And I didn't want to interrupt it with that knoll down there, so I had to sort of move around a little bit. But this is perfect. It just looks fantastic. So it's sort of the middle of the day, but I still think I'm going to get a good shot. So I better get taking it. Right, so I've got it on 24mm f8. I've got a bit of this rock in the foreground and then this lake coming in, and it looks so good. Oh, it doesn't get any better than this. Try and shelter from the wind. The wind has just picked up, it's so strong. I've just moved from over there where I could hardly stand up. The wind just started going, and then, oh, it's just so, the weather on the fells changes so rapidly. You've got to be careful. Anyway, I got a shot over there of some rocks, and I was shooting a bit wider, but this one's quite interesting. So I've got a little tarn down there, and then I've got this collection of rocks here amongst the grass. And I think it's a really simple foreground. I talked about foreground in the video. I'll link it here a few weeks ago, was it? I can't even remember how long ago it was. But I talked about having simple foregrounds and having repeating patterns. And I think this is a combination of lots of things, really. It's quite a simple foreground, but it's also got these nice rocks which are repeating patterns in a way, because they repeat themselves here and then they repeat throughout the scene. The other thing is the sun's coming out and in, and I don't really want the sun on the foreground. I want sort of just a little bit of sort of reflected light, but no strong sunlight. And then I'm just waiting for sunlight to come on the background. So it's just a waiting game really, and just shooting at about 20mm, getting just trying to balance the scene a little bit, and super simple. Handheld, because I've got f11, a 60th of a second, and with the stabilisation and the fact that I'm quite a long way away from the rocks, it's fairly easy, just check focus, to get it all in focus. Beautiful. Right, coffee time I think. Let's find a shelter.
Say something like you love me and make my day, like you always do, like you always do. Hold my hand and look me in the
It's now a couple of weeks later from when I was in the Lake District and I took this photo, and things have changed quite significantly around the world, and in the UK we're staying at home now to protect NHS workers, which is so super important. So I suppose, you know, photography pales into insignificance a little bit, but I think it's important for us to try and keep a semblance of normality and try and keep talking about these sort of things and doing the things we love, really. And printing is a thing that I'm passionate about. So I wanted to show you this print. I really like it. I think it's worked really, really well. Yeah, I think the fact that these rocks are just in amongst the grass just works really nice. I think, you know, I really like the way they're laid out, and you know, the light just sort of catches the grasses here. We've got a nice texture, and then your eye leads down through the scene into this lake, and then through out into the distant mountains here. I really like it. It's worked really well. I did quite a lot of toning on it because I wanted to have it sort of an orangey colour and not have too many different colours in the grass. So I changed that quite a lot with the hue, saturation and luminance sliders. And I did a video midweek, if you didn't spot it, on that. So go and take a look at it and you can see the sort of things that I do. I also want to mention a competition as well, a weekly competition that I'm going to be running. Before I do that, I just wanted to say a big thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video. And if you're looking for a website or a domain, then you can go to www.squarespace.com. And if you want to try it and you're ready to go forward with your website, then you can use offer code Nigel to get 10% off, or /Nigel. Okay, on to the competition. So the competition is something that I want to run on Instagram for every week. And then in these midweek videos that I'm doing, if you haven't seen them, then you can check them out. They're called 5 in 5 at home with landscape photography. And they're more about Lightroom techniques. But I think what we can do is use some of the techniques I talk about and then have a competition around it. So this week's competition is all about colour and toning your images. And you just need to enter it. You just need to use the hashtag 2020ND on Instagram. And I'm going to choose a winner each week. And in that weekly video, that midweek video, I'm going to talk about that and chat about that image. And I might chat about a few other images as well. Okay, that's it. And until sometime in the week, and if you want to know when in the week, then make sure you click the bell icon somewhere below. Bye.
Round, around, oh, I want you now, now, now. My world is spinning round, round, round. And I want you now, and I want you now, and I want you now.